Hello everyone, welcome back. In this new series, I will try to recreate 3D images from scratch inside of Cinema 4D. This is gonna be our target image and this is gonna be our final result. So let's start. I will start with this background. By the way, I am using a program called PureRef. It's free, you can download that. So that way it's gonna stick on here so you can follow what I am doing. As I said, I will start with the background. I think we can use splines for that with cloners. So I am thinking about a circle, make it editable, press C, switch to points mode. We will have 4 points, but we will need more resolution to get these details. So why not we go to front view, right click, select line cut, and add these new cuts. I will enable single line. This is gonna be easier. Now we will have 8. I believe that it's not gonna be enough either, so I will select all, select line cut one more time, and I will make these new cuts. By the way, these don't have to be perfect because we will need some randomness. Anyway, let's select these points now. Leave between them 1 point. Then I'm gonna scale this. Now we can use extrude, but there is one more thing. We will need a kind of border, because if I use the extruder just like that, I will get this, but we want the inside to be hello. So let's create a rectangle and make it bigger. Now I will create a spline mask and put these 2 splines into that spline mask. Come on. Yes. I should change the axis. Okay. So if I put that spline mask into the extrude, I will get what I want. But for now, I will not need that because we need to figure out to create these clones. You see that these don't have the exact shape. As it goes further, my shape gets smaller. So I am thinking about duplicating that, moving it here, then select circle. First, I'm gonna scale that. Then select the points 1 by 1 and create some randomness. We can also do that for the first circle. Okay, now I can create a cloner. I will hide the second spline mask for now and put my first one into the cloner. Let's select cloner. I want to clone them on the Z and I want to clone them linearly. So I will change my mode to linear, set Y to 0 and increase the Z. I believe that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 count, 6 clones. So let's make it 6. Now it's time to unhide the second spline mask and put it under my cloner. Now I need to change my clones mode to blend. Okay, looks perfect. Now I need to make that cloner object editable. Press C. That way it's gonna create these splines for me, which I can use extrude. So let's select them all, press Alt and click extrude. Obviously the thickness is too much. I will lower my offset to something like 2 maybe. Also, I think at this point it is good to create a camera and look through that. I will set my focal length to 5. And also there is another thing, I should enable save frames and change my aspect ratio. Let's go to render settings, output. Let's start with 500. So it's too much. 600 looks okay. They look similar. Then I can lock the ratio and set my width to 1000. Can close that. Now go to camera, look through that, and I need to place that. Okay, that looks fine. As you can see, everything looks too good. I need to add some randomness. By the way, I will turn off that work plane. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select these circles and play with their points to add more randomness. So instead of selecting them like that, I will click here and search for circle. This is gonna list all the circles in the scene. So it's gonna be much easier for me to play with them. Let's start with the first one. Select the points. Before that, switch to points mode and play with these points. And maybe we can rotate them to give some more randomness. Okay, I think this is gonna be enough. Let's turn off that search. I want to enable secret space and with occlusion. Now I want to model these things. I don't know the name. Let's rename that underwater floors, maybe. I will create a new scene. It's gonna be more simpler. Create a new project, or you can just press Ctrl and N. Let's start with these ones. It's gonna be really simple. Create a cube. Change the dimensions. Okay, that's gonna be enough. I will make it editable. Press C. I can select the bottom polygon and scale it slightly like that. Then delete that. Let's put a subdivision surface over the cube. Then right click, select lookout. First one here, then second one to the middle, press shift and add that one. I will select these and lower them. Then maybe we can select these, scale them on the Z to create some depth. Okay, that looks fine, but I'm gonna make my subdivision surface to 1, then make it editable. Okay, that one is okay. Now let's look for that one. I will hide it. Create this time a plane would be better, I believe. Let's change the orientation for the width. Yeah, it looks fine. We will not these vertical segments, so I can set my width to 2. Then I can make it editable and put a subdivision surface over that. Go back to plane and select these edges and leave one edge between them. Make these edges longer. Then I will need a bevel, I believe, to make these leaves sharper. Okay, I will still continue to scale down. Why don't we go to model mode, press shift and add a taper. Okay, I can right click on state object and delete that one. Enable subdivision surface. I will add a lookout here, then scale that. Okay, I think this is gonna be enough. Now I'm gonna select them all. Right click, extrude, enable create caps. We will need some thickness. Let's enable subdivision surface. Again, I am gonna make my subdivision surface to 1. Yes, it's gonna be better. Let's make it editable. I will hide that also. Then I think, yes, we have this one. I think we can duplicate that and make these higher. Then look at over here and here. Now I can move these like that. Also, I'm gonna rotate the top points to mesh curve. Okay, and the last one, these ones, I will hide that one. Create a cube. Change the dimensions. Make it editable. Delete this bottom polygon. I will add a loop cut right in the middle. Press shift. Let's put a subdivision surface to see the shape. Okay, I believe that I need to make the top polygon smaller. Okay, this is gonna be enough. I'm gonna make my subdivision surface editor and render one more time and make it editable. Let's unhide them all and move them aside. I'm gonna rotate that one. Okay, now select them all, right click, connect objects and delete. I don't think that we need them as separate objects because I can double click on one of them. I can say right click and split, and I can use that. That way I can use on a single texture map, which is gonna be really handy and fast. Alright, now I will switch to my layout to UV edit. We need to unwrap this, select them all. Let's try automatic UV first. Looks good, but not that one. It's too flat. I will this time triangle. Not much. Yeah, cubic looks better. Now we can change to 3D paint. Enable 3D setup wizard for body paint. Say next. We don't need to recalculate UV. We did that. Next. 1K will be enough. Let's say finish. First thing, let's go to colors. We can pick a color from that image. Let's do that. Select pick color from screen and let's click here. Go to layers and say fill layer. Also, I don't want any specular. Let's turn that off. I should higher my fong angle. Let's go to layers one more time. I will create a new layer, which I will draw on these lines, shapes. Again, I'm gonna change my color. We can pick it from here. Go to layers one more time. This time I'm gonna switch to my pencil and draw these shapes. Let's start with that one. Let's select brush. Let's try that first. Okay, let's find maybe some hardness. Okay, another one. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think it's what makes it beautiful. Some randomness. So let's look at that one. It's gonna be easy. Now the last one, I should make the brush size bigger and the full hardness. Because of the UV, we will get these seams. So I think it's gonna be perfect time to use the projection. Let's enable that. Let's some randomness. Okay, this is gonna be enough. I can turn off projection painting. Now we can go to texture and save that as file, save texture as PNG will be enough. Orange back. Let's rename that to flowers. I know it's a weird name, but it's gonna be okay. We can change our layout to standard and edit, copy, go to window and go to our first scene, and I'm gonna paste these over here. I will look from perspective, rotate these, then I'm gonna place these just like in our picture, our reference. To make a duplicate, I will right click, but select the whole object. I mean polygons, right click, split, then move and scale that dim1. At the very end, I'm gonna make them into a one object one more time. Right. Now I can select them all, right click, connect objects and delete. Now let's work on the starfish. I will go back to my previous scene. I can delete this because we are done with this, and delete that one. I believe that if we start with a disk and lower the segments, I will get that. Let's change orientation. Let's go to front view and make that editable. Now I'm gonna extrude that edge, right click, extrude. I can just simply press Ctrl and extrude that, but I want to extrude them as well, so extrude tool will be better. Select extrude and extrude that. It looks like I need to change my rotation. Let's make it 90 degrees. Let's make it simple 100 centimeters. Now I'm going to select that edge, go back to extrude, right click, extrude, or simply press D. Then I will say apply. This is going to extrude the edges with the same value. All right, now I need to put a subdivision surface. I'm going to select the center polygons and scale them. Okay, I'm going to set my subdivision surface to 1 and make that editable. Let's put another subdivision surface. I think the center is too dense. Let's select center points, right click and select them. After that, I can select them and dissolve them. Okay, this is a lot better. I will select all the polygons, select extrude, enable caps. Alright, as I did before, I will set my subdivision surface to 1, then make it editable. Starfish. Can increase my phone angle. Switch to UV edit, select all the polygons, and let's use the same automatic UV. Okay, not bad. Switch to 3D paint, enable body paint setup. Next, finish. Let's go to color first. I will pick that color from here. Go to layers and fill that layer with that color. Another layer. I will change my color to that. Select brush and paint. Maybe we will need bigger brush size. Okay, this is gonna be enough. Let's go to texture and check that. Maybe this is too much. We can lower the opacity. Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna save that texture as JPEG. I'm gonna change my layout to standard. Copy the starfish, Ctrl C or edit, copy, press V and select our project and paste that over. And I'm gonna place 3 of them. Gonna be enough. We can make them as one object. Okay. I think we should work on the bubbles. It's gonna be real easy. Just create a sphere, change the size. Select them, right click, connect objects and delete, and name that bubbles. All right, you know, it is time to model this big boss. We are gonna model that fish. Let's go back to our other scene file. I can delete that starfish, delete that material. I think this is just straight up a cube. Let's create a cube. I will press Alt and select subdivision surface, then go to cube and increase my segments by 1 for each of the axes. And it is nearly the same thing. I will check my subdivisions. All right, looks good. I can make that visible. Now let's do that hole. I think it's somewhere around here. We will need a reference. I will create a cylinder, set the rotation segments to 8 because, you know, I have selected this for polygons, which will need a cylinder with a 8 rotation segments. I will rotate it. Then scale that. And it should be right in the middle of the scene. I'm going to change my orientation to world and set my Z to 0. Let's select our cube one more time. I'm gonna make a small extrude inner. After that, I can press Alt and select bool and put the cylinder under the bool. Select bool and enable create single object and make it visible. Press C. I don't think I'm gonna need the inside. Just delete them with ellipse selection. Now I need to merge these points. You can use slide tool, press Ctrl and slide, or you can use polygon pen tool. Just connect these points. There is another way. You can select them both, right click, select belts. I think the fastest way is polygon pen tool. Okay, I'm gonna select them all, double click on them. and extrude them by pressing Ctrl. Scale them slightly. One more time. This time I'm gonna extrude them to the inside. Let's put a subdivision surface on that. I think it's too big. Let's scale this. Okay, good enough. Now I want to make the mount. I think I can select these and split them. I will need to bevel this though. Okay, so that I can delete this and make a space for the teeth. Alright, let's enable subdivision surface, but these two needs to be a single group. So I'm gonna select them all, press Alt and G. And I will hide that right now. Okay, it's too angular. I can select these and weld them like that. This is gonna make the edges softer and rounder. Yeah, just like that. Let's unhide that. I'm gonna select all the polygons, right click, extrude, turn on caps. I think the base is very flat, so I'm gonna add a loop cut here. Okay, now select that and scale that. I think it should be bigger than that. Yeah, something like that. Let's make these eyes. Bit of sapphire. I'm gonna change my type to hexahedron, and maybe we can try 12. Make it editable. Make a loop selection, then a fill selection. Delete this. I'm gonna extrude these 2 times, or 1 will be enough. I duplicate that. Okay. Now I need to make a space for the inside of the mouth. Let's select our heads. These polygons should be selected. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl, extrude, and do that one more time. Okay, now we have enough space for the teeth and the tongue. For the teeth, let's create a disk. Come here, change the orientation. 8 will be enough. Make it editable. Delete the bottom part. Select these edges, press Ctrl, extrude. Do that one more time. Let's put it under our subdivision group. And I think, yeah, the shape looks very similar. I think all I need to do make an extrude with the caps on. Maybe some sharpness. To do that, I will select these polygons. Select extrude inner. I'm gonna go back and increase my maximum angle. Okay, looks perfect. Now let's position that. Okay, 4 of them. I'm gonna duplicate these, press Ctrl, then move, rotate them. Okay, everything looks fine. Then we will need a tongue. Why don't we just go to our heads and steal some polygons? I'm gonna solo that. I'm gonna select these, split, turn off solo, and extrude them. And if I subdivide that, yeah, it looks really good. Maybe these points should be higher. Yeah. Okay. Looks fine. We can keep that like that. Now let's make this antenna. I'm gonna go back to front view, create a spline. I'm gonna change its type to be spline. It's gonna be better. I will create a circle for the sweep. Make it smaller. Press Alt, select sweep, and put the spline under the circle. I'm gonna scale that circle. I think I need to move that point. Yes. I will enable lines. I think I will have a lot of polygons on the spline. We will not need these. Let's go to circle and change our number to 1. Yes, 1 will be enough. Spline is okay. I can keep that. Also, we will not see the caps, so I can turn this off. Let's make that editable. Make the selections. Then we have this ball. I'm just gonna create a sapphire. You know what? I'm gonna undo and play with spline. I don't think it's that long. Or maybe it's because of the perspective. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna just set them like that. And I'm not gonna make that editable. We can use that as it is. Let's create another sapphire one more time. It may be good to change its type to hexahedron. Let's make it 12. What else we need? Oh yes, these ones. I will go to heads. Let's select these 8 polygons. Right click, split, scale them, and extrude. I don't think I need any caps. Turn that off. Let's move these points down. Split these polygons. Then scale them. I will extrude them just like I did before. Or simply press Ctrl and move them. I'm going to scale these and make these polygons flat on the X and scale them like that. Let's set these objects and axes to the center. So we will have an angle like that. So it's good to move it over here and give it some rotation. Okay, now let's do the smaller ones. I think I can copy that. And it looks like these points are thinner. Okay, Looks fine. Now I need that one on the left side of the fish. Why don't we just create a new null which will be right in the center of the world? I can put that under the null and select null, create a symmetry, change the mirror plane, and make it editable. Okay, it looks like I have done everything. Now I need to arrange and delete some of them, like these. I can select them all and make them one object. It also these ones. What is that? Oh, tongue. Okay, now I can paint this and we are done with the modeling. Let's go to the UV edit first. I'm not gonna spend much time on this because they are not gonna be textured. I'm only interested on these ones. So I'm gonna select them all. Automatic UV cubic and apply. This should be enough for us to paint them. I will go switch to 3D paint, enable wizard. I will deselect all first, then select that one only. Say next, next, next. 1K will be enough. First, let's go to color and select the color from the reference. So this is the highlighted part, so I'm gonna lower the brightness a little bit. Go to layers and fill that layer with that color. A new layer. This looks like a white color, but let's not make it fully white, like 90%. So as I did before, I will just select my brush and paint this. Okay, everything looks perfect. Now I'm gonna save that as. I can switch back to standard layout. Let's name that fish. Then I'm gonna actually let's copy with subdivision surface. Control C, press V, go to our first scene and paste it over. Control V. And let's position that fish. I will change the orientation to object. I believe that this is a little inside that hole. First thing first, let's select the starfish and flowers, make a group, and I'm gonna make another subdivision surface for them, and let's put them over here. And I don't want to see the empty side, so I'm gonna slightly change my camera angle. Something like that will be enough. Now we can work on the lighting. As you can see, we have a main fill light on the right side. It's coming from here. Then another light, which kind of a diffuse light. You can see that the shadow is not that black, which means that we have a diffuse light. So let's try to create that. First, I'm gonna open Octane Render and lock it over here, and let's hit render. At first, as I said, I'm gonna work on the lighting, so I can enable clay mode and lock the resolution. First thing, let's create a an area light. I will go to top view and change it to perspective, and can play the light in the perspective view without breaking the camera. Why don't we add a target tag? Come on, move. Yes. Target tag, and I think fish will be a better one for that. Which one is that? Yes, that one. I'm gonna change my coordinates to object and move it over here. I'm gonna rotate that. Yeah, that fits better. Okay, as I said, there is diffuse light, but this is too much because if I look from the perspective, you'll see that our world is white and it's too much. I will create an HDRI environment and click here. Sorry, just select a color. So it's gonna be the same. If I turn that off, you can see that, but this time I have an option. I can lower that white color, something like that. So now if we look at the shadows, I get a really close result, but we will play them later. Another thing, I still don't have any GI in the scene, so let's go to settings and I'm gonna change it to pet tracing. I don't think we will need that much. Let's lower this. You can see that this highlighted part is burnt, so it is good to have a camera tag for the octane. Let's select that. Not that. Camera tag, please. Camera imager, enable that and increase that. Now we can turn off clay mode and play with the materials. Let's turn that off. These are from the Cinema 4D materials. We will need octane. Go to materials, create. Let's start with the diffuse materials. Double click on that. Diffuse, I will select the flowers texture. Then I will press Alt and replace the new octane material with the old Cinema 4D material. Perfect. Now we have this starfish. I'm going to duplicate that one. Press Ctrl, duplicate. Go to diffuse and select the starfish texture. Same thing. Press Alt and replace it with that one. Then we have this background, which I made with the splines. I will create another diffuse material. Open that. And I'm going to select this color from the reference. Let's select here. And I'm gonna put that material to the cloners, or I'm just gonna name that to background. Now let's create a material for the bubbles. Let's get these out of the way. I will create material. This is gonna be glass, so let's select specular material. This time let's work on the fish itself. I'm gonna create a diffuse material and assign that to head. I'm gonna pick the color from the reference, just in between. Is the same for the antenna. Now I will duplicate that one, but this time I will change the type to glossy, and let's select a darker color. I will assign that to eye. Now we have lips. I will duplicate that one. Color, I can pick it from here. Maybe some more saturation. And assign that to lip. Oh, this is too saturated. Let's lower that. Yeah, better. Also, I see some low subdivisions over here. So let's set our subdivision surface to 3. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong one, this one. I want to make some adjustments like lid, sorry, lip. I want to select the inside polygons with selection and scale them. Yes, this is better. Now let's do that from the perspective view one more time. I will change my axis, not change the axis, but change the x value so I can scale them from the beginning. Also, that lip should be bigger, I believe. Which means that I need to scale the teeth. And we have the tongue. Let's not forget that. I will just use the material which I used for the lip. And for the shape of the head, okay, maybe we can do something about here. I mean, making it sharper. Let's select these polygons with slip selection tool and scale them slightly, not that much. This is too much. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, not bad. Maybe we can rotate it slightly. And what if I select here and scale them on the Z? Yeah. Okay, let's keep it that way, which looks closer to that one. By the way, these bubbles are not much visible because I believe they are inside. Yes, they don't get much light, so why don't we move them over here, then lower them. And some of them are too big. I'm gonna scale them. Let's go to our Octane camera tag, and I think I will need more highlight compression. Now I will create simple material for this ball. Let's create another diffuse material. I am interested in the emission, black body emission, and I'm gonna assign that to sapphire. Okay, let's change the temperature to warmer. Yeah, not bad. Let's make the final adjustments. I believe that I will need more exposure. Then I think my fish is a little desaturated. So I'm gonna increase my saturation. Yeah, not bad. Maybe we can play with the diffuse light. I can make it slightly darker. There is another thing. I think that fish should be get closer to the camera. You can see that the fish is casting shadows on these flowers. So I'm gonna select my fish subdivision group, change my coordinates to world, and move it somewhere here. So now we can see the effect. Okay, let's make it bigger and make it compare. For the last thing, I will make a more saturated color for the lips. Yeah. Okay, I should stop here because I can go like that for the whole day. I think we get a pretty good result, not the perfect, but for the given time, it's probably under 1 hour. We got a really good result. And I hope that you learned something new, and see you in the next series. Bye.